The Boston mayor, who is just a woke crazy person, in my personal opinion, said, well, let me play you guys the clip, and I'd love to get your reaction. What she said prompted a response, and we'll play the clip first and then the response. Watch this.
I don't know of any police department that routinely wears masks. We know that there are other groups that routinely wear masks. NSC 131 routinely wears masks.
Mayor, just to clarify, are you comparing ICE, you said, to NSC 131, a neo-Nazi group? Are you comparing them to a neo-Nazi group?
What I said is that Boston Police and no police department that I know of at the local level routinely wears masks.
In other words, that's a yes. She definitely compared ICE to neo-Nazi groups. Here is the response from the folks over at ICE. Watch this.
Federal agents in marked jackets and vests are masking their faces because people like Mayor Wu have created false narratives about their mission. Federal agents and their children are being threatened, doxxed, and assaulted. That is why they must hide their faces. Furthermore, suggesting that federal law enforcement officers are, quote, snatching people off the streets is also false. It's offensive to the men and women who risk their lives every day to uphold the rule of law.
Yeah, seems like a pretty appropriate response. Natalie, I guess I think the just overarching thing here is libs just being so loose with really heated rhetoric on this whole keeping the law and order. Like, it's not like something that's super outlandish. If you're in the country illegal, you should be deported. And then to then equate that to some of the worst people out there feels like I think they're just being reckless and careless with their words. Where does that lead us?
Yeah, I mean, they're constantly reckless and careless. I think even what Tim Wall's saying, we need to bully more, is like to a man who has had 2 assassination attempts. I mean, they always say, let's tone it down, but then they never actually do tone it down. And this is funny to me because I think it was in 2022 that this mayor went on an Instagram live and she wanted to talk about other things, but she was inundated with questions from her constituents about why they still had a mask mandate in the city. And I mean, libs will defend masks and your right to wear a mask until like the bitter end. And whenever you go to a protest, it's always the libs who are fully masked in black box. So, it seems a little bit disingenuous to me. And I do think there's probably a real concern over being doxxed. I think that there's probably a rise in animosity towards ICE agents. And it's fair to have them cover their faces. They're in marked shirts and everything else. And if you're here illegally, we've all known that you are susceptible to ICE.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Matt, I thought when she was talking about people wearing masks, she was going to start talking about Antifa, because every protest that I go to, I don't go there to protest. I tend to see what's going on because usually people are heckling Charlie or something. All of those people are always masked. I thought that's where she was going with that initially. I was surprised that she was talking about something else, honestly.
Yeah, no, where was that opinion on masks during COVID? I do want to say I see where she's coming from, because if you can't spell, Nazi and ICE are spelled the same. So,
Yeah, if you everything is the same in their book, regardless of whether or not it's right, wrong. As long as they hate it, it's good for them, I guess. Anger isn't an argument, libs. Try to learn that.